Hello and welcome to another video from Never a Truer Word. And once again, we are going to look at the disappearance of Kiely Rodni in California. And in particular, we're going to look again at the words of her friend, Sami Smith. If you want to see the first video where we look at some of the things that Sami had to say about the night that Kiely went missing, the party, there's a link in the description of this video. We're going to look at a couple of things in this video. We're going to see just how good a friend was Sami to Kiely, what was their actual relationship like before Kiely went missing. And we're also going to look at a really interesting theory that came up in the comments to the last video. Just a reminder, we're only going to look at the words of Sami here to try and get a look underneath the skin of what she's saying and see if we can find out what the truth is. If you want to go to the website neveratruerword.com, you'll see some of the techniques that we use to work out what's going on. The big ones to be aware of are that people will generally tell the truth, even if that means being very limited with what they say or leaving stuff out entirely. Rather than lying, people will default to the truth. And the words we pick, the words we choose to use, will reveal a lot more about what is going on than we ever intended them to. We're going to look at an interview Sami gave to All-American Dream Chaser on YouTube. There's a link below in the description so you can watch that video and see Sami speaking the words if you want. So why am I going to look at this? It's because I've seen some tweets like this where people are saying that Sami is acting very suspiciously, especially as a best friend. And I looked at those and went, well, in the last video, we concluded that I don't think they were best friends. I don't think they were that close at all. So why do people think they are that close? And I realized that actually Kiely has trying to give the impression that they're close, but does she ever say they are best friends? Well, let's have a look at how she describes their relationship in that interview. Let's see the words she uses. The host starts off by asking a question, who is Kiely Rodni? Let's go back to the beginning real quick, give us a rundown. Sami starts by saying, totally, yeah, so that's buying thinking time. And that's allowed. A question has been thrown at you. It's a very wide open question. Who is Kiely Rodni? So she buys some thinking time with totally, yeah, so. Then the first thing she thinks of saying is describing the relationship, Sami's relationship with Kiely. And Sami says, Kiely is one of my close friends. Now, that's one of my close friends. That's not best friend material. She does not say Kiely is my best friend or one of my best friends. She doesn't even say we in that answer. She starts with Kiely and then she says she's one of my close friends. So that is very much what I thought in the first video. Kiely is part of a circle of people that Sami knows, and that's all there is to it. Kiely is one of my close friends. We met through mutual friends, and then this is verbatim. We became closer in the past year to coming months recently, and I get what she's trying to say there. She's trying to say that we met through mutual friends and we've become closer in the past year and recently, but she doesn't say that. She says, we became closer in the past year to coming months recently. It doesn't make sense. And why do people misspeak? It could be a slip. It could be a general slip. It could be that, there's so many other things going on in her head. Just like me talking now, there's so much going on as I'm recording this video that I'm bound to misspeak. I'm bound to slip up at some time. But another reason we can misspeak is if we don't have the genuine, authentic words inside us, because we're letting our brain on autopilot pick all those words for us, and then it comes to something that it can't quite compute. You're saying to the brain, give me words to say what good friends I am with Kiely, and the brain's going, oh, I don't know that you are good friends with Kiely. I don't have the words for that, so I'm going to chuck some suggestions at you. They come out your mouth in something that's a bit like a word dump. We became closer in the past year to coming months recently, which doesn't make sense. So I just don't, like I say, I think they're loose acquaintances, and that Sami just doesn't have the authentic words there to describe that properly. Sami then goes on to say she's just a light in a lot of people's eyes, and that's not where it finishes. She goes on to say some really nice things about Kiely. That's really easy to do. It's really easy to say nice things about people, especially if we know some of their good qualities. So she's stumbled, misspoken a bit on the type of friendship that they have, and then she's gone on to talk quite easily, more easily, about what a nice person Kiely is. So look, when she's given the chance to say she's one of my best friends, she doesn't say it. She just says she's one of my close friends. And then have a look at this from the interview as well. We looked at this in the last video, but I'm going to highlight a passage here where she's talking about Kiely arriving at the party, and she says she came with her best friend, Mags Larson, Magdalene. How does she describe Magdalene? Kiely's best friend. And she doesn't say one of her best friends or another of her best friends or even another of her friends. So Sami, to be 100% fair, has not, in this interview and nowhere else I've seen, she does not claim to be best friends with Kiely. She just says that she is a friend. How did we get to this point? Well, she does seem to want to give the impression that they were very close friends. Why that is, I don't know. Does she just like the attention it brings? Or does she feel some sort of guilt or something like that? I don't know. We can't tell the reason for it. But she has done a very good job in the interviews that she's given, and she hasn't given many recently. She's done a very good job at portraying herself as quite close to Kiely. But when you look at her actual words that she uses, she just says she's a close friend, and she doesn't have very many authentic words to back that up. So they knew each other. That's about all I can say from there. So we're best friends? Not a chance. We're going to look at the theory in a minute, but can I just say, if you're getting something from this video, could you press the like button down there? That would be really helpful, just to let other people know that this exists and to help it get pushed around by the YouTube algorithms. Thank you so much for pressing that little like button. Thank you. I really appreciate it. In the last video, and if you want to watch it, there's a link in the description, like I said, then someone said in the comments, look at the amount of time that Sami mentions sharing drinks. And this is to hide the fact, and this is the comment, this is not what I'm saying, this is to hide the fact that Kelly's drinks were spiked or a drink was spiked. Interesting. So let's look at the words that Sami used that talk about her and Kiely matching each other drinks for drinks is what I think she was saying at the time. But when I have a look at it on the back of this comment, some really interesting words. So highlighted here, Sami saying, we were drinking the same drinks. Now that could be that Sami had a vodka, Kiely had a vodka, Sami had a beer, Kiely had a beer, whatever it is. But it could also be we were drinking the same drinks. Later on in the interview, Sami says, we were trading drinks with each other, and then we were sharing drinks with each other. Now, the things we repeat, they're either things that are very important for us to get across to the person we're talking to. We don't just feel like saying it once is going to be enough. We want to make sure we say it a few times, maybe in slightly different ways, but we want to make sure we say it a few times so they really get the message that we want to get across to them. That can be one of the reasons why we want to repeat things. Another reason that we can repeat something is it's heavy on our mind. It's a priority in our mind, and we just cannot help talking about it because it's something that's very important. It's very up there in our minds. So is the reason that Sami is mentioning that they were sharing drinks something to do with drink spiking? It's possible. It's possible that Sami is trying to give away the impression that one of Kiely's drinks couldn't have been spiked because she was sharing all the drinks with Kiely, and she's absolutely fine. Sami's absolutely fine, and Kiely is currently missing at the time of recording. So it's possible that that's what's going on. Is there anything else in the words that we can spot that would give us some more information? Well, I'm a little bit interested in some stuff here. Here you can say, Sami said, we were drinking the same drinks, like I pointed out earlier. And then she says, being teenagers. Okay, just remember that one, being teenagers. And then just above that, you'll see that we also, something we pulled up last time, we were talk to other people or go do other things. And I pulled that out at the time and went, what does that mean? That's undefined. That's concealed. What does go do other things? I think she's hiding something from us there. And also being teenagers. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why? Yeah, go do other things being teenagers. I mean, potentially drink spiking, but certainly I'm very interested in why she does give the impression that that they were sharing drinks and why it's important to her to mention that a lot, or why it's top of her mind. I'm interested. Like I said in the first video, I think some things happened at that party that Sami is concealing from us. Not for a second saying that she has anything to do with the disappearance, but I think that Sami is hiding some things that happened around Kiely at the party. So to conclude, not best friends. Definitely not best friends, but let's be fair to Sami, she has never, ever claimed to be best friends. And potential drink spiking, I think there's a real potential in that. I think that was a great spot. I do think there's something going on around the type or amount or what was in the drinks that Kiely and Sami were consuming. But I don't know. I wasn't there. So I can't accuse anyone of anything. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Please press that like button if you got something out of this video as well. And if you want to see any more of what I do, then look at neveratruerword.com. You'll see lots of articles post there, lots of subjects, including Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, lots of true crime stuff in there as well, and how the words that are used there, what they reveal. And if you want to follow any of the socials, go to the link tree that is linked to below and is on your screen right now, where you'll find all the social medias you could ever want. And we'll see you again for another video sometime.